Opinions expressed in this program are those of the program's host and guests, and not necessarily those of WSTU management, staff, or sponsors. WSTU does not endorse any products mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's now time for Leadership in Business, brought to you by John Campion of European Kitchen and Bath and Todd Harris of Crown Car Care. Call in with questions and comments. 220-9788. 220-WSTU. And now, here's your host.
Well, good afternoon, everybody in Martin County.
Yeah.
This is the Leadership in Business show. I'm John Campion, your host. And I am, of course, can't do what I do without having my trusty sidekick, world famous Frank Mezzapel.
Hey, how you
Frank,
doing? Thank you for those kind words.
Hey man, nice shirt. They're starting to
sporting the company colors,
got
right?
the logos.
Yeah,
I got mine going. That's so I know where I work.
Nice.
And I mean, I just need an address.
I like your badge, your name badge.
Yes. Oh, what coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
That's
are the
great.
days I don't want to be the one telling them what to do, but I just say there's no crying in kitchen and bath.
There you go.
Only for the people who
Another
spent the
baseball
money.
reference.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes,
That's
I love
right.
it.
Don't we know?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, so it's been a very interesting beginning of the month. Here we are in April.
It's my granddaughter's birthday, Emily.
All right.
Happy
Emily.
birthday, Emmy.
How old's Emmy today?
I was afraid you're going to ask
Oh, I'm
me
sorry.
that.
Just say she's 2.
No, she's got to be about 7 now.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's
Yeah,
a good age.
getting
That's a
down the
fun
road.
age.
Yeah.
What does she call you? I mean,
Grandpa.
Grandpa?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm a papa
Yeah.
and my son is Poppy.
Poppy. Yeah.
I have to think about that sometimes. Even the kids get confused.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My
Oh,
1.5-year-old granddaughter,
Mm.
Zinnia,
Mm-hmm.
she's starting to mouth.
Yeah. Aw.
That's FaceTime.
Yeah.
So I had the fortune that, as we discussed offline here earlier, I was in Orlando last
You
week.
were.
It was my first time going out to an event,
Mm-hmm.
2.5-day event that I went to in our. It was a bringing together people from like industries in to hear what's going on, what's going to be the latest thing going on. Trends.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little bit over my head. Most of the people there were, a little trendy. Yeah. Most of the people there were the IT or the sales people who use the products and stuff. And I just kind of faked it for 3.5 days.
Yeah. Even the paint, wallpaper, fabric industry are all dialed in to the same thing, because it's more than coincidental that the bathroom towels match, other colored things,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just remember, most of the things in the bathroom are now either white, black, solid or brass, or brushed nickel or chrome.
Nice.
So those, and if you're putting beige, like toilets or tubs in your house, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not, if we were in the Southwest, it would be cool.
Right.
Or down in maybe the islands somewhere, but it's a white world.
So it's kind
out
of
there.
Art Deco now, white, black.
Yeah, it's white. White is what you're going to find in 98% of the bathrooms. From, you always want your tub to match the sink.
Right.
And then, of course, we see plenty of the shows on TV depicting the new colors like the satin brass and the matte black. That's a powder coated color. And there's matte white. And I heard that and I go, well, I knew a matte white and a matte black back in high school.
Yeah.
They weren't related, but but those are, very, very color. The matte black is really taken off, and you particularly see that on all the shows.
Really?
And then you'll see that with the satin brass next to it, or the poles. It really makes a difference in your kitchen. Let's say if you want to redo your cabinets. I mean, refreshing your kitchen and not spending a lot of money is the way to go, is by putting in new cabinet poles. And hey, your local cabinet pull guy.
Yes.
European Kitchen and Bath at 197 Southeast Monterey.
You've got
Stuart.
Incredible selection.
Yeah, we have a really great selection. So, it's there to come in and browse between the trees and the walls and see what you like, and you might see some other stuff you like.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a free browse, and you don't have to pay unless you bring your boyfriend or husband in and make sure they got their wallet.
Yes.
That's what we look for.
Yeah.
A woman with an American
Right.
Express card is dangerous.
Oh, well, could be. Yes.
Could be dangerous,
Mhm.
depending on what kind of instructions she got. But, hey, we have 3 salespeople to take care of you for the bath.
Mhm.
The bath, we had a wonderful, wonderful sales month. And, bath makes up probably almost 75-80% of what we sell.
Right.
Versus the days when we were strictly kitchen. But everybody has more than one bath. So that helps.
Yeah.
We'll be
Well,
back.
that's true. That was a good business decision.
Yeah. And
to do that.
And they, and then I heard I was over in a shopping market parking lot yesterday, walking to my car, and I listened to older couple talking to another couple in a car saying, well, our Connecticut car still has Florida plates on it. So just figure that about every 1 in 6 cars you see they're still here, and it's fine. They're spending money, and your small business operators like moi really appreciate it, and we're very thankful. So, yes, traffic is crazy. Everybody's crazy. Everybody's so wound up. It's just amazing. So, I just see it at both of my store locations, Vero Beach and Stewart. The traffic in all those areas is busy, and the people coming in the stores are busy in their minds,
right?
And everybody. We've probably talked about this over the last couple of weeks, but everybody's so used to getting things so quickly, particularly if you
Amazon.
Yeah.
Just point and click, and then all of a sudden
and even they have been affected by supply chain. But folks, just don't get too excited. Every small business or any business you deal with, whether it's little or big box, they're going to do the best they can to get you your product.
Right.
And they don't want you to be disappointed. And so we, that's where we get our vibes from. Several weeks ago, people would walk in and say, we need a kitchen sink. How long do we have to wait? And we know that at that point, we knew that they'd already been dealing with their appliances. 14 weeks.
Wow.
So it's getting better, but it's still there. And
right. Especially the smart appliances because they use chips.
The chips. Yeah. Chips Ahoy, man. It's anything with a chip.
Yeah.
There's almost everything has a chip now.
Right.
You got a chip on my shoulder, but
no, I don't think so.
That's a little bit different. I'm hurting. I need a new chip in my right shoulder. It's great. It's great. Hey, Frank, one thing I don't know if I thanked you for this, Todd and I, for taking us to that baseball game a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. It was my pleasure.
We were very fortunate to go to a preseason,
it was a last
spring training
thing.
game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very limited schedule. And, we were out there watching the Mets pound on the Cardinals.
Right.
And I still have sunburn on my left leg, which was facing the sun.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to peel on my right now. So I was like, well, where did I scratch?
You got all that. You got that Nordic blood.
I don't know what, I guess, I don't know. I think it's French German stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oui.
Yes, oui. Yeah.
Oui, monsieur. But I mean,
it's all right.
If I get a tan going, back in the day,
I felt the back of my neck. I got the, the
redneck.
Yeah, I got the redneck thing going.
Yeah, the three of us were pretty silly. We didn't have any gook on.
No, none.
We were sitting on the first base line with the sun behind us.
Yeah,
weren't lucky enough to be under the overhang or anything like that.
No.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was great. The big pitching stars for the Mets. Unfortunately, I'm reaching out to the Mets fans saying, it's too bad DeGrom and Scherzer didn't make it even a week.
Oh yeah.
Scherzer started the game and he's already blown that shoulder out for something.
Yeah.
And then Scherzer came in and pitched, a whole bunch of innings, and he had a hammy problem this week. So, but at least we got to see him, and we got to see about 2 or 3 home runs, and
so it's always fun to see former Tigers for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Now just Scherzer was the former Tiger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other former Tigers? I guess that guy playing first, Pete DeLuise or whatever his name was. He's supposed to be pretty big star. He won the home run derby. Are you the one who told me that?
No.
Maybe Todd did.
Probably.
But he won the home run derby like last year.
Nice.
Every time you looked at him, he got bigger. It's like he was going into the dugout and pumping up his arms and crap. Maybe he ate a few more donuts or something. I don't know. But
bench pressing the entire bench.
But when you're looking at those guys, and to think that when you've made it, you've get to do that for a living. That's pretty awesome,
right?
Other than the fact that your locker smells and you stand your socks up against the wall after a couple of days. But they have people who pick that stuff up.
Yeah.
So what do you got? You got something for this day in history?
We can do a little of this day in history.
Got one of those?
Yeah.
What is today?
Today's the 6th of April. And on this day in history, John Tyler is sworn in as the 10th U.S. president, becoming the very first vice president to succeed a president who died in office.
And who died?
That was President Harrison.
See, now, what gets me? People who know the presidents. You know the presidents? Can you recite their names? Like,
no.
All 40,
no.
6 of them?
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
I can do the last 3 going backwards.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. If I probably can get, probably not in necessarily the right order, but maybe 30 of them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You could be on Jeopardy.
I don't think so.
They might ask your one.
Those folks are on that show are.
So the flunkies for Jeopardy slide down to Wheel of Fortune.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I feel sorry for the guys who don't win any money in that.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
And then in Jeopardy, if you finish first or second, you only get second or third, you get 1,000, 2,000, 1,000.
Oh, okay.
So these people will have,
stupid money, right?
Yeah, they'll bet something, and you're going to win. You're going to get 2,000. Even if you slip up, of course, the winner gets to keep what they get.
Yeah. And I think there's an IRS agent right there.
That's right. And you can come and be in our tournament of champions. Anyways, that is pretty impressive. You want to think they have a bug in there with somebody giving them the answers. Because, I look over at my wife and say,
wow,
did you know that? No.
It's amazing how people actually make a study out of just studying for.
All they do is read stuff.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know I'm getting off tangent on Jeopardy, but
that's all right.
I love the show.
Yeah,
and
it's interesting.
Sometimes I'm going, God, these are easier. This is double Jeopardy. Oh no, it's single. It's first Jeopardy. Forget it. Double Jeopardy. If I can get one right,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It's you'd be surprised what you know.
Would they have classic? The other night they had classic. What was it? It was like classic stories, and then they had in 1592. What?
Yeah,
and actually,
literature would be my weak spot. Yeah.
Right.
Especially that really archaic stuff, going way back.
I like it when they go the Great Lakes, and then they'll come up with some weird thing. You can go, I didn't know I had the islands in Lake Michigan.
Oh yeah.
Up when you get up towards Petoskey and Charlotte, up that way, because it's a whole different
it's
topography than it is down, way down like across from Milwaukee.
Right.
It's just, my old stomping grounds.
So if you ever have a friend that lives up there, have them bring you back a Petoskey stone. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Talk about the topography. That's the only place in the world that the stones have a certain design to them. They're speckled and they're unique only to Petoskey. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unique. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I lived there.
Yeah. So our local weather guy in Detroit, Jerry Hodak, used to have a Petoskey stone. It was on a rope tripod, right? He put it outside, and if it was wet, he said, "Okay, it's going to be rainy today." And if there was snow on it, he says, "Chance for snow."
Now there's a guy who wanted to keep his job.
Yeah, so
That's right.
that was Jerry Hodak.
Jerry won't be here today, but
yeah.
he taught us a few shortcuts. So
Yeah,
I guess we're getting ready to get into some weather here this weekend, huh?
Yeah,
He said it's going to be
a little rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Well, we had a little prelude of that this afternoon, didn't we?
I was hidden away in my little
Your fortress,
my 8x8 safe room, which
Yeah.
is my office, and I could hear the thunder and the light thunder.
Yes.
And I went out and looked out the window and the sun was out. And I go, "What the heck was that?" And they go, "Wow, it was just blowing and doors were being sucked open." And
Yeah.
so any of you that saw it, I missed it.
Oh,
Kind of like the national championship Monday night on TV.
yeah.
Watched every game
Yeah.
leading up to it and completely forgot Monday night. So
Well,
if
who
you want-
won? I missed that too.
Oh, Kansas.
Kansas won. Oh, the Jayhawks, right?
Mark Corson. He is a thrilled, happy dude.
I bet he is. He's a big Jayhawks fan.
He had
huh?
his Jayhawks shirt on today. And,
Nice.
Mark is a good architect we know here in town. If you need an architect, Mark Corson and Associates. And as he introduces himself as architect.
Yeah, that's it.
Man
That's
of few words.
He is.
But he can draw up some good stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So they beat North Carolina.
Very cool.
And they were rated. They were the number 1 seed. Kansas was in their, their
division.
Well, their whatever you call that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's close enough. And North Carolina was the 8th seed,
Hmm.
and they were actually beating them at 16 points or 15 points at halftime.
Wow.
And Kansas came back and beat them.
Wow.
So. So much for that. But I don't know if you know this either. This is another useless piece of sports trivia, Frank.
Okay.
That the coach for North Carolina is a rookie. It's his first year as a coach.
Wow.
And he was a former player under Dean Smith, the legendary Dean Smith.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the guy's
More to
name.
come from him. Then,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. First year as a coach. That's pretty amazing.
Wow. Talk about Cinderella story.
Yeah. Well, he must be really good. I hope is he going to ask for a $2 raise?
I suspect he might get a bonus. Yeah.
So,
well, good for him.
So I can tell you, I watched every game except that one. And
I bet you can find it on YouTube.
Probably, but I can tell you everything that happened on the life below zero port protection. I can tell you what happened on that stupid show.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold.
They were fishing and shooting bear and shooting
That's
ducks.
Discovery Channel?
Nat Geo.
Oh, Nat Geo.
I like the show. It's Monday nights, it's usual night, and then Tuesday nights, it's other night. I don't know. I just like it because it's cold.
Yeah.
I wonder how why would these people want to live? I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Well, you haven't lived in Florida, dude.
Right.
So
that's right.
You can make your life tough.
Yes.
I'd like to be out in a homestead up in Alaska, like 50 miles above the Arctic Circle.
Yeah. We're actually the only living creatures on this planet that have been able to succeed in living in every weather geography on the planet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this guy
have adapted.
This guy was building something in the 54 below with his kids outside.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently kids, they really get tired fast and they lay down and they turn into little frozen logs.
Aww.
No, they don't. They take them inside.
Yeah.
But
whoops.
Yeah, I just want my kids to learn. They'll learn from me with all this. It's like, my parents used to take us out and we'd have to sit around in 54 below zero,
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that, so guess what happened on this date in when
snowed
was
in
this?
Florida.
18. When was it? Come on.
Amazing what the presidential stuff will do too.
Right. All right. I want to get the right.
Caught your eye?
Was so Robert Perry discovered the North Pole officially on this date in history. And it was, and I want to get the year right, but it was on this date. And let's see,
When 18 something.
There it is, 1909.
1909.
Yeah, I knew it was the beginning of the.
It was a year after the first pandemic.
But yeah, well, that's right.
Right? That was 1908.
So yeah, so they, him and Matthew Henson, they reached the North Pole after 2 failed attempts, and then they finally did it on April 6th, 1909.
Wow.
And yep.
How did they do it?
Well, I tell you what, some of his comments, because he, obviously there was no telegraph up there at the North Pole.
You think?
And so he had to send his telegraph from Canada, and he was just reading his notes from his diary. And but it's just incredible, some of the things that they had to endure, such as let's see now. They left out from their base camp from Ellesmere Island, 413 miles from the pole. His team counted 24 men, 19 sledges.
What?
Sledges, I think it would be sleds, and 133 dogs that actually have the word sledges written down. And his longtime assistant, Matthew Henson, who was an expert explorer in his own right. But he learned from the Inuit Indians, the native Inuits, and he actually had 4 these native people with him on his team, and they taught him the proper way to dress. And he had lost, can you imagine this, from his earlier attempts, he lost a total of 8 toes from frostbite. So talk about cold. It's minus 50.
Yeah, he's like, I can only do it one more time. I can't count on. Can't count these toes twice, 16 times or whatever.
Can you imagine losing 8 of your toes?
No, I can't. I mean, I already know what my toes feel like, and I still have them.
So yeah, that was.
They feel like they're frozen. I guess it's called something else.
So George Eastman began selling his camera. Do you remember what the camera was called?
The Eastman
Kodak camera.
Kodak.
Yes.
Okay.
Kodak camera began sales on this date in 1889. Wow.
Where is Kodak today?
Right. It was a Kodak moment.
They're Kodak, aren't they?
They were pretty much, I mean, they sold off most of their interest. They tried to get into some digital media. There's some stuff that they dabbled in, but I think they're pretty much
gone.
Yeah.
That's tough stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's still, and that was
look what happened to Polaroid.
There you go.
Yeah.
Polaroid's
another
Polaroid land camera. I remember back when I was my last job. Now that job I started in 88. It was done in 97, but back in the early 90s when we were at a job site back then, we'd all had Polaroids to take pictures of certain things that were wrong with some of our equipment we were putting out in the restaurants. And, you think the Polaroid was
cutting
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Cutting edge technology. I used to call the camera paranoid because you would be afraid. If you with a traditional camera, you'd snap an image, but until you got it processed, you don't know if it came out.
Right.
So I like the whole notion of taking a picture, and then you'd be able to put eyes on it within moments. And then you say, okay, that's a good picture. I need to take a different angle or whatever.
I had one that had a faulty push button. Go, no.
3 or 4 pictures in a row.
Yeah. Stop. Next thing you know, it sees the ceiling. Those were the days.
God.
And then by before 97 hit, I was carrying 2 cell phones. Remember the Next telephones that were like walkie-talkies?
Yeah.
Yeah, not those real big ones that, people had the bag phones.
Yes.
Or you had one in your car like me that had the thing in the trunk for the reception, the tuner or whatever, the amp. And then it had like 100 buttons on it that you could add stuff over the years. Well, it never got past what they put in my car for the years they put them in, I was like, this would be great to add.
Upgradable, right? Yeah.
So
in 1917 on this date, John, the U.S. formally declares war on Germany and entered World War I.
Oh, that's easy. You just do it. You go and you kill everybody, and you never mind.
No, never mind. Yeah.
That's wow. 1917.
Yes, and then researcher Roy Plunkett accidentally discovers, ready for this, polytetrafluoroethylene, better known as Teflon.
Wow.
So
And that was 1917?
1938.
1938.
Yes.
Okay. Teflon.
Yeah. Teflon was accidentally discovered by Roy Plunkett.
So what were they using Teflon back then for? Would you know?
Well, I don't think they had a use for it.
They just invented it.
It was, he was like, I wonder if we mix these things together, what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And so
that's funny,
right? And then basically a lot of inventions happen like that. They would make something, scratch their heads, what can we do with this? And then that's how a lot of inventions
probably made a lot of it into some of the war,
yeah,
utensils.
could be.
Maybe it was Teflon.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think it was later they realized that it had a unique slippery component to it. The problem is, how do you make it attached to another substrate?
Right.
And then I'm sure they had to work through that whole process.
So the Teflonites ended up figuring out where it should go.
Right.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal, Roy Plunkett.
Roy Plunkett. You would have thought he was invented football.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we
is that nothing more of significance on this date?
No, that completes this day.
This is the date that his granddaughter was born 7 years ago.
Yes, that's
cool. Yeah.
Very good. So here we go. We will see if Rocky and Bullwinkle have some.
Oh, right. Rocky.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll have to wait for them on our next.
I got to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto.
One huge mistake.
There you go. All right. Very good.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for Leadership in Business. You can tell we're leading on. It's John and Frank. We'll talk to you in a second.
All right.
And we are back. This is John.
Just when you thought it was safe.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you're right. The ice is very thin. Watch out, Frank.
Ew.
Lay your body across it.
There we go.
John Campion, Frank Mezzapel, Leadership in Business.
Mm-hmm.
It's hump day.
It's hump day indeed.
It is.
Yes.
I tell you what, my hump day started yesterday. I got humped yesterday, and then I got humped again today, and
yeah,
I'm sore.
Yeah, I
tell you.
Well, yeah, riding that camel. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
but it can only get better.
Oh yes,
the Masters is on this weekend.
Oh, that
starts tomorrow.
Now, when does the Honda?
That's already been and gone.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Oh, that's right.
It's March.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the guy
I can
named.
Tell I'm a big golf guy.
Well, the guy who won it had won his first event. He was the first Austrian to ever win a PGA event. Something Stuttgart. I don't know. Anyways, he was strong. He won. He beat all those guys. And then Tiger Woods is going to play in the Masters
Mm.
this weekend up in Augusta. He
Wow.
announced
Well,
yesterday.
That is
It
his.
is, but he announced. I mean, hey, just a year ago he was.
Yeah, he had a bone sticking out of his leg.
He
right?
did.
Whoosh.
Yeah. Hey, Daddy, what's this? Don't touch that. Oh, don't touch that.
Oh God.
Here, let me get my 5-iron. That's what Mommy
Oof.
taught me. Yeah.
Yikes.
Anyways,
I think it was a 7-iron.
but it could have been. Yeah. But I mean, the guy is a fitness, freak.
Yeah.
So
I
that
know.
when you're in shape like that, but when you got somebody told me today, well, but when you have $14 billion,
right.
So God bless him. What a talent.
Right.
So let's see. We were talking about. I was going to just mention this weird. I went to this seminar up in Orlando.
Yes.
It was at one of their big hotels where it was like a 42-mile walk from from where the room was to my room.
Yeah.
And I'm just learning how to walk again, so I can tell you, there's. One day I took the wrong turn out of my my room and I walked down to the wrong end of the hall, and you don't want to do that.
No.
But I hadn't walked as far as I walked in 2 years, so it was
good for you.
I couldn't wait to lay in the bed.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You got to keep
it moving.
Yeah.
Got to keep it moving. So I can see the difference now.
Good.
Yeah. So that. But anyways, was up there at one of the big hotels that has conference rooms, and the name of this event was called Evolve, and it dealt with people from the industries where hardware stores and kitchen and bath, and these people were the ones who kind of are a little bit ahead on what's coming down the road with e-commerce, and it's something that I've been looking at for a while, saying, well, my third store needs to be e-commerce. I mean, I could have a physical store somewhere, but e-commerce, but it's to me, it's overwhelming. For some people, it's easy. I probably should have been in e-commerce a while ago, but mostly the people at this event were, they had entertainment, and they had a musician who was a comedy guy who had shows in Vegas and stuff. And he was, lighting up the crowd. And he asked a question. He's wanted somebody to answer a question. And when it was answered by one of the employees of one of the companies that I used, and the guy went out there and he gave him his guitar.
Nice.
And said, "Here, this is for you."
Right.
And this was right after he had just played Bohemian Rhapsody on a 18-string double neck guitar. I mean, and to replicate some of those notes and noises. And this guy, he said he'd been working on this for like 10 years.
Wow.
15 years.
Isn't that amazing?
And he was. And so anyways, he he had a message to bring, and we had breakout sessions with what it ended up being really is people kind of like in another world. I mean, that stuff for me is.
This is all software packages they're selling.
Well, and it was credit card stuff. And,
how to process it.
And new stuff coming down the road. And for me, my group that I use for my website, which can turn into an e-commerce site if I ever get my act together and do it.
Okay.
But anyways,
sounds exciting.
I was wanting to bring one of my people who uses the program, and I just kind of faked it, sat in these meetings, and most of the people there were the employees of the companies who use the products, and I was there. I was one of the few owners there who was, I was looking forward to each of the meals.
Nice.
When they would have for lunch, you go and eat these little mini what are they? What's that? Tiramisu?
Oh yeah.
Is that the?
It's chocolate. It's kind of a whipped thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Oh, yeah.
And that and cannolis.
Oh,
holy cannoli.
Yeah.
I was like at the cannoli table.
So now you're Italian, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. 2-bite cannolis.
Gastronomic. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My wife loves Italian sausage. So
I do too.
right?
Yeah.
Oh man, and you get yourself a hoagie roll, cut, and then you grill it up with onions and peppers. Wow, good eating.
Man, I'm going to Greek Fest tonight.
Okay.
No, instead of where I'm going. No, I'm not. It's anyways, it'll be there's a lot of good food out there, and I have to say this place had good lunch, good breakfast.
They took care of you.
Yeah, when you can have eggs Benedict for breakfast, and then you can have fish, chicken, or sandwiches for lunch.
Yeah.
With holy cannolis and tiramisu. And
wow.
No, it was, and then
treated you like royalty.
Well, they did all right. I mean, the bill was big enough. So, anyways, but I'll tell you what, I cannot believe I was at one of the park sites with one of the hotels, and the families there. I mean, how do they? They must save up all year.
For more than 1 year.
Yeah, I mean,
oof.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
And a lot of these people had a minimum of 3 children and as many as 4. And a lot of mixed families. It was cool to watch.
Yeah.
I observed a family at dinner one night, and then I let the parents know how well behaved their children were, and how the little boy reminded me of my nephew, who's 38 now. And he's not going to be a doctor. He's going to be an engineer. Okay. At least you got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, but that was my first, now I used to travel every week prior to coming down here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first time out and about at an event by myself.
Yes.
Stand-up shower. And all the, a place with real hot water.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, it was good. I just didn't, the 750 bottle of Fiji water on my dresser didn't move.
No. No. Did they have the little bar in there?
They have a little refrigerator.
Work?
I could hear it running, and I open it up. It's just a little refrigerator to put stuff in.
Oh, okay.
Because that night I was waiting for a beer. Oh my gosh. Could that be?
I don't know. We have somebody on our newsmaker line. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Frank. Hi, John.
Hey.
How are you,
Palm City Charlie? How are you?
Pardon me. I had to clear my throat.
Excuse me, Palm City Charlie.
Did you have indoor plumbing too?
Indoor plumbing and, towels that were as long as me. And I'm not some short guy like you.
I know. Well, hey, don't pick on us.
Yeah.
2 of us can take you.
There you go.
Okay. That's okay. I only slept in one bed. I didn't sleep in both of them. And no, it was decent. And how sometimes you can hear the people running upstairs and flushing.
What was the name? What was the name of the place?
It was the Portofino Lowe's over at Universal.
Portofino.
Yeah, it was all
very
Italiano.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That explains the cannolis.
Yeah, holy cannoli. Yeah.
Cannoli.
Oh, I know. They had these little tiramisus that you could just pop in your mouth like chiclets.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So did you guys get hit with rain? Palm City got hammered.
Did they? Did you?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Oh man, wind and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
did you hear the thunder boomers too? Right? You had that. You probably had to close your garage door, right?
Yeah, I did. Close to an inch of rain.
Well, we need it.
But it was.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It was sideways.
Thank you, Lord. I appreciate it.
What's funny about that is when I got up to leave at about 7 this morning to go to a breakfast meeting, my sprinklers are just going off crazy. We never run our sprinklers. And of course, I had to walk through them to get into my car.
So are they set up?
They're set up, kind of. We have a sprinkler guy coming to fix us up.
Some of them are set up that with a soil indicator so that it reads the. It's like a moisture meter.
No,
right?
The moisture meter is. We turn it on, we turn it off. I let my wife Dee Dee control that, and I'm sure she turned it off after whatever happened there today, Charlie.
So what's that? What's the moisture meter called? Isn't that called a hygrometer?
A hydrometer.
Hydrometer.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get off because I have to call my buddy up in Connecticut. He and 2 other guys are going steelhead fishing.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
great. That's great. That's what.
I guess you could have 2 fish a day.
Okay.
The last time they went up, my buddy put a nice, beautiful fish on a stringer, and he was fishing another spot, and he saw these 2 guys pass him, and they were fishing too, and then they came back. One of the dudes stole that fish.
No.
Oh no.
Where are they going, Charlie?
Is that
I don't know the area, but it is upstate New York. I don't know what town.
Oh, in the Finger Lakes, probably.
Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, actually, I think it's in lakes. They're fishing in one of the big lakes.
That's what I figured. It has to be a big lake because we had steelhead in Lake Michigan, and steelhead salmon, right?
Yep. I can't wait. I'm going to visit him this summer. He better put some in the freezer for me.
Does he cook those like steaks on the grill?
I bought him a big green egg.
Good move, man.
He could smoke it.
I used to bring those. I used to bring all that stuff back to when I lived in Charlotte, Nashville.
That's my wife's name. You didn't live in my wife, did you?
I'm not telling. Tall, good looking.
I'm going to ask her about you. Do you know a guy named John?
Yeah, with no H. You got the H beat out of him by some woman
you know
named
what?
Charlotte.
When I was in Vietnam, you didn't want to get a Dear John letter. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
No. But anyways, enjoy, and I can appreciate.
Well, I'll enjoy talking to him. I can't go.
Well, just tell them you make sure you coax. They hold some fish for you.
They better.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
All right.
Tell them you know their number. Okay.
All right.
I'll give us a full report later. All right. Thank you.
See you, Charlie.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, that was the days when when I lived up in Lake Michigan, my dad, you'd go out fishing like it was deep sea fishing. You probably know this, but the Rivieras would take your bait down, and you're catching lake trout, salmon, coho, and kings, 35 pounds, fresh water.
Wow.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
And then when you cut those babies up into steaks and throw them on the grill, and you smoke it on your Weber or whatever, it tastes just like a damn steak.
Yeah.
People, where did you get it? What is this? Where did you get this? And
get yourself a $35,000 boat.
Yeah,
you get one too.
As time went on, actually, I left Michigan in '79.
Yeah.
But they started having problems with lead in the water up there.
Oh yeah.
And they were telling you to limit, especially pregnant women, just like they do down here,
right?
To limit themselves on their fish intake. Well, we used to okay, we got some more. We still have some in the freezer, and we ate a lot of it. But I left. So
yeah, I think the problem is eating big older fish. So the younger fish don't have a chance to accumulate enough toxins.
Yeah.
So just a thought.
Well, that's a good thought, Frank.
All right. So we're going to see if we're going to toss it to Rocky and Bullwinkle, see if they can do it for us this time.
Okay.
And now,
hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
And now, here's Johnny.
Now for the rest of the story. We're in here just inventing things, but we appreciate Charlie calling in.
Yes, thank you.
Bringing back some good memories. If you've listened to the show on and off or on for a while, when Todd's on here, he and Frank had pulled out of automotive.
Yeah, automotive news, correct.
There's a story, a little story behind the story of Carl Ghosn, who was the Carlos, the executive CEO of Renault and Nissan. And of course, he snuck out of Japan, he got out of his jail sentence and got back to Lebanon.
So because of you, we broke this story, and nationally, basically, even though we're a regional radio market. And
that was funny. I remember that so clear.
Because Todd and I were talking about this. You happened to be listening to the show, and you called in and gave us the heads up about Carlos's attorney, who was also in jail at the time. We didn't even know about this until you told us, and his name is Greg Kelly.
Right.
And it didn't get any scrutiny or media press until Carlos had mentioned, after he had exiled from
it wasn't long ago.
Right. He had mentioned that during an interview that because they wanted to talk about the guys that helped spring him out of Japan and how he was able to get into Lebanon. And he said, we can talk about those guys, but I'd rather talk about Greg Kelly.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was very cool. And so go ahead with your story.
Well, Greg is like a normal guy like us. And he was my neighbor, behind my house I lived in Brentwood, Tennessee for 7 years outside of Nashville. And Greg and his wife Dee were good friends, and we had a really great neighborhood dinner group, and we just we
had adjoining backyards.
We did, and those were really. If you could see the backyard, it was beautiful. We got to look down in that and see if Dee was out there having a beer. Anyways, they're from Chicago, and Greg has worked for Nissan for 30 plus years, and he was coerced to come over there. The Japanese people, they sent a jet over for him to fly over to be there for
a special meeting.
And as he stepped off the plane, they arrested him and threw him into solitary confinement actually, it ended up being he was in and out of jail cells and solitary confinement for 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think it was 3 years.
And ultimately he was on house arrest. And
in Japan, when you go to jail, it's 90. You're guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
So you're screwed. Anyways, by the grace of God and some good Senator Bill Haggerty from Tennessee, and Raul. He used to be the mayor of Chicago, and he's now the
right.
What do you call it? The ambassador to U.S. in Japan.
Rahm Emanuel.
Yes. Yeah. So, anyways, Greg got out on back probably about a month ago, maybe. They released him. Well, he'd been out. I guess they'd given him an apartment. They got to do, but he still was stuck in Japan. And they got him. They got him back out of Tokyo and back into Tennessee. And they had a big whoop-de-doo at the airport.
Right.
And
home party.
Yeah, and I got to say, the article from the Tennessean is beautiful. You can always go and look at it if you go to Tennessean.com or whatever. But he Ghosn, right? He fled Japan in 2019, hidden in a box, and Kelly was acquitted of other charges later on, but his suspended sentence meant that he was going to be able to return to the U.S. and live in Brentwood. And of course, I'm sure he's retiring from Nissan or something. But Dee and Greg were met at the gate by the senator of Tennessee, and welcomed home by the family, friends, and supporters. I mean, I can't imagine what he'd been through. Imagine being in solitary confinement, on and on and on. And
he said that the table, the conference table where they were sitting at, was larger than the cell he was tossed in. I don't know if,
that's amazing.
Right.
You know who else was there when he came back was, well, let me see if I'm reading this right. U.S. Ambassador to Japan, Raul Emanuel.
Right, Rahm Emanuel.
And then the current U.S. Secretary of State, Blinken.
Right.
And former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
Correct.
And
because this really spanned 2 administrations trying to get him out.
So you're absolutely right. And it also covered that with some of the governors. So, I mean, it was a big to-do. And God bless Greg Kelly. As Haggerty said, Greg Kelly is a man who had a storied career. And for a guy who's, you know, I mean, he had a nice high-profile job with Nissan, but he was your normal Miller Lite drinker, and just a great guy. And so now he's home, and later on, I've reached out to Dee to see if there's a chance we can get a phone interview or something from her or him. And I'm sure they're being very protective, and they may have to be, non being able to do anything because of the whole case.
Yes.
But anyways, just thought we'd bring that story. Todd was especially interested in it, and and of course I'm interested in it because they're good friends, and
we've got to go in 10 seconds.
Okay, well, we're gonna go.
All right.
Hey,
thanks for listening.
221-3990 for all your Toto needs.
Very good.
Stop in. Thanks a lot, Frank. We'll see you next week, I guess.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.